Long lunge deadlift variation is a great way to load your back leg and hip extension, to load those hip flexors in a loaded stretch, and also just give you a different variation in a different position, because variability is a key part of longevity and injury resilience as we get older. So what this is going to look like is setting up over the barbell. Now, if you've never stretched your hip flexors and haven't done this, I would start with a little bit less load than you typically would, maybe an unloaded barbell or maybe even a couple of dumbbells instead. But this is going to be how we start with the deadlift position. Now, you don't want your feet directly behind each other. You will fall over. So have them spaced a little bit apart, but we do want to have a really long position. The longer, the more stretch we're going to get in that back leg. It's also going to load the back toe a little bit, so if you have problems with that, you might want to go a little shorter. Then from here, we're going to grab the barbell and deadlift it up like so. As you're doing this, what you want to think about is pushing your hip forwards on that stretch leg as we lift up. That way we're not just leaving our pelvis here and lifting our backs, because then we are going to load the low back a little bit more, which is not a bad thing, but a lot of the purpose of this and a lot of the benefit you're going to get is loading the hip flexor. So make sure that as we lift up, we are pushing that hip forwards and kind of thinking about tucking our tailbone down a little bit, drawing the belt buckle up so we get a nice big stretch here, and that is going to be the deadlift movement. We can program this as just a hold or for reps, depending on the goal of the exercise that day, but that's what it's going to look like. It should not cause pain, and please start slowly and build up your weight from there. That way you give your body a chance to adjust, and that's how we avoid injuries.